All right, we got the announcement that it is live streaming.
Hold on 1 second. It's not showing up on my end, and I haven't been able to mute it yet, so hold on 1 second. There it goes. There we go. Okay, I think we are ready to go now. It's official.
All right, we will start the TAC for the Technical Advisory Committee for the RRIF program of the RTC. This meeting is being streamed live on RTC YouTube, and it is being recorded, so be advised. We will start the meeting. It is 8:38, and we'll take roll call.
Okay. Amy Cummings,
Here.
Brian Stewart,
Here.
David Blanco, Dwayne Smith, Ed Hawkins, Jim Rendell,
Here.
John Flansburgh, John Krimpotic,
Here.
John Erickson,
Here.
Craig Knudsen, Kurt Dietrich, Larry Chesney, Mike Michelle,
Here.
Mitch Fink,
Here.
Peter Gower, Randy Walter,
Here.
Ted Erkin. Okay. We have a quorum, just barely, but we have it. I also show Adam Spear, Bill Thomas, Blaine Peterson, Dell Keller, Dan Dentris, Hannah Yu, Elena Williams, myself, Leanna Levis, Stephanie Haddock, Swin Wang, Carl Stabley, Claudia Hanson, and Jeremy Smith. Did I miss anyone? Okay. I think we're ready to get started, Brian.
Okay, hearing none, we'll just start with agenda item 1, approval of the agenda for possible action.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Me. Sounds affirmative. We'll move on with that approval, that action taken. Item 2, do we have any public comment?
We did not receive any public comments.
Hearing that there's no public comment, we will move on to item 3. Approval of the July 23rd, 2020 meeting minutes for possible action.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Hearing no objections, move on to that item as approved. Item 4. So this is the item 4. It's the 7th edition of the RRIF General Administrative Manual Overview discussion items. This will be for possible action. I am going to ask Dale Keller to walk us through what we heard from last meeting, which was take the low-hanging fruit with some of the items that were discussed during our 6th edition update and see if there was any benefit to working on those in the 7th edition, or should we forego those because of really didn't show a good improvement to the RRIF program. So Dale.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. This is Dale Keller,
RTC engineer manager for the record. I am in my car right now, and I will be in the office here shortly, but included in your packet, as Brian mentioned, are some low-hanging fruit that we look to address in a quick manner. You'll see that summarized, I believe, 4 items, and we, as RTC staff, recommend no change. If the TAC would like, we can go through each of those items, or we can answer questions as you have them.
So I'll help Dale out with respect on that a little bit if we want to go into a little bit more summary of that. You know, item number 1 that we felt like was the low hanging fruit, and we know that a lot of effort went in between the 5th and 6th editions of getting this updated, was to redefine the service areas and the benefit districts. Staff recommends no change with respect to that, so that we can go into the 7th edition with the defined service areas as the same as what the 6th edition is. We also looked at item 6, which was the impact fee rates. And this is something, impact fee shall be assessed with the land use type or the fee scheduled adoption of the GAM. At the time of the impact fee, GAM fees are to measure the impact of development of the RRIF capital improvement included in the CIP. 4 specific land uses were considered for this change: the warehousing, and I just lost the residential housing, the student housing, and the walkable communities. So we recommended no change there. Number 7 of that list was the RRIF payment using credit cards. And per Nevada NRS, the impact fees cannot be used to reimburse agencies for those fees. That would change NRS, and we recommended for the 7th edition to not move forward with updating that or changing that. And then the RRIF revenues with respect to the limit of the RRIF funding per the project within the service areas could delay the needed improvements and cause supplemental fees to be used to be complete. So we recommended no change there. So I open it up for discussion on these items and see where we want to go with respect to basically recommending no change for those items listed.
This is Randy, Randy Walter. I don't see anything there that's of substance. I think I concur with your recommendation. The only question I would have is on the credit card thing. I think at some point NRS needs to be updated with the rest of the world because credit cards make a very easy way for those with payments, waivers, credits, etc., to keep track of what's going on more efficiently than cash or checks. So that's just my 2 cents.
I would have to agree with you, Randy, with regards to the credit card. You know, we've in the last 6 months, you know, everybody's been in their bunker, and you know, the amount of folks that come down to City Hall is very limited at best. And so I agree with you. I think that the legislature, obviously, this group isn't going to make that decision, obviously, but that's probably something that needs to be taken to the elected officials to see if they can make a change to that.
Thank you, John. Any other comments on this item? All right, hearing none, I would say we have some action taking for possible action. Let's see what we wrote on there.
I'd move to accept staff recommendation on those items we just discussed.
I'm going to second it, John Krompotnik.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 That item passed, and we'll move forward with that. So we'll bring to the next meeting maybe some more low-hanging fruit as we analyze those and go through those comments. So be prepared for that. Moving on to item 5 then. Public comment, second round of public comment.
Again, no public comments were received.
All right, thank you very much. Item 6, going through the member items. So please Trying to see the best way to go through here so people don't step on each other. If you have a member item, go ahead and unmute and go forward, and we'll write it down. Okay, hearing no member items, I'll go ahead and move into the next RRIF TAC meeting to be determined, but I believe we would be putting that
September 24th.
September 24th at 8:30. So write that on your calendars, and we'll look forward to seeing you if there's no issues with respect to that.
So we block out a full 20 minutes for that meeting?
Yeah, no, hopefully it goes that quick. We will have some other items we believe on that will probably take a little bit more time. We'll try to be efficient and move through those. But I know one of the things, and Dale probably could help, was the Truckee Meadows Regional Planning Agency was going to give us an update. And so that might take a little bit of time. And I think, Jeremy, you're on the line to maybe give us how much time.
Yeah, sure am.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to come in September, and we're going to have quite a few products. We just delivered last week to Schwinn the 2020 data, TAS data, based on existing development. We're working on the long-awaited build-out model. So we have received data from all three jurisdictions on some of the projects that kind of fly under our radar because they're not regional. They don't trigger the regional process. So we've been compiling a really clean version for July data. And that is going to be the basis for both a build-out model, which will basically build out all dwelling units that we sort of know about today and what zoning will allow. But then also to support the RTP, we'll be forecasting years 2025, 2030, 2040, and 2050 based on the consensus forecast, which is slated actually to be approved or hopefully be approved by the Regional Planning Commission later that evening on the 24th of September. So everything seems to be aligning, and we'd be happy to bring that information to this body in September.
Thank you, Jeremy.
You bet.
So carve out some time for that. That'll be an exciting update, understanding what regional planning is got in those models for us in the build out. So that being said, give one last opportunity for member items in discussion here.
Yeah, Brian, this is John. Hey, Jeremy, in your full build out model, did the three jurisdictions come to a consensus on the what I refer to as the switches in your model, the suitability factors?
No, we're working on that with the three jurisdictions. The build out doesn't really need the suitability factors because the timing issue for that is not really included. It's basically a take at what has been approved through all of the different entitlement processes. So on any vacant land, what's it zoned for? Or on any PUD, what is the lot block plan? And so it's just really everything. Our attempt will be to model out everything that's been, approved. That doesn't really actually capture everything that could be, because there's, speculative stuff. There's still parcels out there that are general rural, for example. But it does give us a take on just exactly based on our processes of, approving developments and zoning and stuff, what we could achieve. And so the suitability factors do come in when we're trying to forecast those different time steps, because that's really the crux of how we decide, maybe, for the model anyway, why one set of parcels is more attractive to build in the near term versus another. So that work is still underway.
Yeah, and I guess that's a good point. Thank you for that clarification. But I thought that what the intent of the full build out model would be is that we would have the full build out and then be able to turn things off and on, so that really we would need to make sure that the suitability factors are being kind of consistent throughout the region when we're looking at the full, I shouldn't say the full build out, but what has been entitled and approved. So it will come into play if we utilize that model to kind of move forward. I guess that's where I was headed.
Yeah, it absolutely will. And so that's really a discussion that I've been trying to get to. You know, we've had in the past a couple ways that we've approached that suitability aspect, and I mean, typically they're pretty darn similar. Stuff like, you know, slopes and distance to major roads, and sort of the distance and availability of infrastructure like sewer. We're going to try to use those same kind of factors to pull that off this time, but we're not going to do it in a vacuum. We're absolutely going to make sure that all three jurisdictions and any, you know, stakeholders have a chance to weigh in on how those are being utilized.
Cool. Thank you very much, Jeremy. I know that was a big lift for you, and we really appreciate all your hard work.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, boy, it always takes me longer than I think, but we're pretty close on the build out. And one of the things that's obviously we have COVID, so that's one thing. But you know, my role at TMRP has changed somewhat lately. I was appointed recently the director, so I've been really trying to build capacity in Damian Kerwin, who is the GIS planning analyst there, and he's come a long way. So together we've built that capacity, and I think we're going to be able to respond a lot quicker going forward.
Jeremy, John Krompatic here.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't see your face, but there's a lot of people that are video off mode. I appreciate you mentioning, and I think you would probably do it regardless of what we are asking for. But remember, kind of the process of which you said stakeholder involvement, and I just feel like we're doing the process a big favor and justifying the outcome when we get involved with, you know, when you involve us from the private side on these weird constraints that we deal with to true up the land use model and land use assumptions. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Absolutely. I think, you know,
Yeah.
we've talked in the past, John, about how
Yes.
you might have an entitlement for 5,000 units for the PUD, but maybe 3,200 are realizable in a given
That
economic...
kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, John, I'll be giving you an email. We'll get you involved, and as well as others on this group.
Yeah, thank you. I figured this group, I mean, we had a great process the last time when you presented. I don't know, it seems like it may have been a couple of years ago now, you know, when we had that kind of workshop, but that was very productive. So thank you.
Sounds good. You got it.
Hey, Jeremy.
Congratulations.
This is Randy Walter.
Thank you. Hi, Randy.
Hi. I concur with both John's comments so far. I'd like to participate in that, as I volunteered to do a while back. So if you can get your build out stuff and your assumptions to us, I think we'll be able to help give it from the private sector side in terms of what's realistic versus what's been approved.
Good call. Yeah, happy to include you, Randy. And what I'll do is I'll maybe just create like a bit of a task force to get you guys all in the loop. And you know, we've got the data to a place where, you know, our goal all along has been to just get that publicly available on our website for download. Our TMRPA land use fabric, which builds off the Washington County parcel data, which now, you know, obviously is freely available. So when I've talked with them, there's no problem with us publishing our version, which includes all that entitlement and approval data in there. We just wanted to make sure it was as clean as it could be before we put it out. So we'll get that out, and we'll make sure that you know, we get you guys involved. I've talked with other developers like Blake Smith and Bob Listener as well. Blake Smith Jr., I think, actually at Band. But yeah, there's a lot of folks that we're trying to bring into the circle here to make sure that we're not missing anything.
Yeah, that'd be great, Jeremy. Anything we can do to help, just let us know.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So member items, I'm closing here. And moving on to item 7, which would be adjournment.
This is an all-time record.
Do we have a motion for the adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you very much. We are now adjourned and looking forward to next month's meeting. See y'all there.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you.